Good evening. Governor Bobby Jindal is in a bind. He promises not to raise taxes, but in a few months, Louisiana will face a budget shortfall of at least $1 billion. That's bad news for Jindal and potentially worse news for us taxpayers. No, taxes are not going up. Instead, the governor wants to hold a yard sale of sorts, selling off state assets to help cover next year's shortfall. No doubt some state properties, like some old jails, could and should be sold off. But Jindal also has floated the idea of selling some state office buildings and then renting them back from the new owners. That would raise one-time cash right now, but chances are we'll see even higher deficits in years to come. In fact, other states have tried that idea. Today, those states have more debt and higher deficits than ever. You see, these budget problems are not a one-year thing. They're going to be just as bad next year. What will Jindal sell then? Perhaps the governor is just trying to get past the elections later this year. Perhaps Governor Jindal should read his own book, which talks about leadership in a crisis.
This has been an expression of opinion by Clancy Dubos. Email your thoughts to commentary@WWL-TV.com.
Good evening. Louisiana's budget crisis will approach a breaking point next year, especially for higher education. Governor Bobby Jindal refuses to raise taxes, so the only alternative is to cut, cut, cut. The question is, where to cut so that cutting does the least amount of long-term damage? So far, the governor has told public universities to cut themselves. That's like telling a room full of starving people to go on a diet. One approach Governor Jindal has not tried is combining Louisiana's 5 college boards. Think about that. 5 boards to run post-secondary education. That's a lot of patronage, a lot of duplication, a lot of waste. The governor hasn't said why he wants to cut universities without first cutting the patronage. And trust me, that kind of change has to come from the top. Unfortunately, combining college boards won't save a lot of money right away, but it will save millions in the long run. It also would make it easier to restructure higher education finances now and in the future. All it takes is leadership from the top.
This has been an expression of opinion by Clancy Dubos. Email your thoughts to commentary@WWL-TV.com.
Good evening. It's ironic that Governor Bobby Jindal is getting so much heat for his busy travel schedule. Jindal's political mentor, former Governor Mike Foster, was criticized often for not traveling enough. The root of the criticism is the same for both men: economic development. Foster didn't believe in leaving the state to promote Louisiana. Jindal leaves all the time, mostly to promote himself. Just yesterday, Jindal jetted off to New York to begin an 8-day coast-to-coast trip promoting his new book, Leadership and Crisis. That's another irony, a book about leadership by a governor who's accused of not leading enough during his state's worst budget crisis ever. Yet another irony, there's very little in Jindal's book about Louisiana, which only increases speculation that he's really angling to move on to the national political stage. When questioned about that, Jindal answers that he has the job he wants. If that's true, then perhaps the governor should come home and do the job that he has.
This has been an expression of opinion by Clancy Dubos. Email your thoughts to commentary@WWL-TV.com.